It's a play right out of the fucking old fake Captain Lee's handbook.
How you think
I got a pocket of plane tickets.
Right.
It's like scare the employee into being productive. It rarely works.
And I love just the cut to Culver and his, like, he gave us real thoughts on this. He's like, that's not going to motivate me. That pisses me off. I'm going to be even more lazy. I miss my mom.
Welcome aboard another brand spanking new episode, a belated episode of Another Podcast Network presents the Patreon exclusive recap of Peacock's Below Deck Down Under. I'm Dylan. A lot of commotion. Saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
Ahoy, mateys.
Pat, producer of the podcast, over there behind my glasses.
Permission to come aboard.
Permission granted. So, what do we have here?
We have Addison Ray's Alana Berry Pop Energy Drink. Sugarless,
Amazing.
delicious.
Amazing.
She's a star. And
Can I have first sip?
An entrepreneur, absolutely.
She paying us for that plug?
Maybe she's paying me. Maybe she's paying me.
Ooh, it's very pink.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to start doing reads and sneak them in there and get paid on my own. You guys, I don't know if you guys are aware.
Woo.
You sniffed that one out pretty fast, to be honest.
All right.
But
That is...
drink Alana.
Are you fucking kidding right now? Is this...
I am kidding.
My God, I was about to get so angry.
There's no endorsement. It just energizes me with zero sugar. Drink Alana.
All right, so Pat's over there.
Hey, everybody. How are you? Hey, just want to give you guys a heads up. I am taking next weekend off from recording because I'm going to Roblar Winery, one of the finest wineries in Southern California.
Well, that's just can't be true.
Well, yeah, anyway.
Done?
I'm assuming
You stopped my plug.
Wait, were you plugging the
I was going to
winery?
plug Roblar Winery and see if they pay me.
Go ahead.
Well, it's one of the, they have great Chardonnays and great, that's pretty much all they got that's good there. That's not really a good plug.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll rethink my life.
Yeah.
The point is, drink Alana.
Yeah. What do you guys do great here? Shard?
They should do a podcast called The Shardcast.
I am
Back.
Full force.
fatigued.
Better attitude.
Ill. Nick gave me COVID last week, and then I got it at the beginning of this week, so we couldn't record. The day that we were supposed to record, we had too many things going on, too many degrees in the sky, and so we decided, let's wait. Let's wait. So that's what we're doing, but you get it now, thank goodness.
Dylan, you actually, didn't you test negative? Are you positive? Because I'm scared of you being in the room. I guess I'm the only one that hasn't gotten COVID yet.
Am I negative that I'm positive I have COVID?
Right. Yeah.
I tested negative 4 times.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay. You're definitely sick. So now you're technically, even though it's not COVID, you may infect me. So I'll probably be taking next week off.
Well, you already said you were going to.
Right.
Probably be missing that trip to Roblar Winery.
Yeah. You know, I thought maybe it was COVID, or maybe it's just that we're getting run down with all these podcasts. You know,
I had COVID.
I know what it was. I went to Braemar Country Club, which is a sad excuse for a country club. And I golfed for 4.5 hours in 95-degree heat. I almost fainted on the 16th tee. And after that bout of, many people can say whatever they want about golf, but it was strenuous physical activity, standing and swinging and drinking and smoking. And it brought down my border wall, and the viruses got in.
yeah, your immune system went down, and your immunity was lowered so it could attack you.
Yep. So we have an episode to get into. Full disclosure, fatigued, a little high off the chocolate. Really have no idea what happened. Zero clue. We're flying a little bit blind here. So let's start with thoughts and pots. Nick, what do you think?
I'll be your eyes, Dylan. You just hold the wheel. Pretty solid episode again. Just as I said about Below Deck Sailing, we're getting to the end of the season, but somehow they're able to squeeze some drama out. And what better way to do that than have a drunk fall off the wagon and start hitting on the crew? Bravo,
Oh
Peacock.
my God, that's right.
81 knots.
Pat?
That was the funnest part for you? Mm-hmm. How about that brother and sister team?
Oh, so great, actually. Yeah, the drunks on board. They were good.
It triggered a memory of mine in high school when my friend Courtney went abroad to Germany, and she was a foreign exchange student, lived with apparently a nice family. When she came back, she shared some of the stories. She said, often I'd walk in at night into my, the daughter's room, and her dad would be sitting naked on the bed next to her. And I said, what do you think's up with that? She said, I think it's a German thing. So,
Scheiße.
Anyway, that brought me back to that, and back to this. If things couldn't have gotten weirder with a brother and sister team naked in a hot tub, they called it father.
Oh, yeah.
Something I've never seen before, and that's a rarity in my life.
Oh, hi, kids.
They must have been German.
30 knots.
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten what happened, as I said. But, yeah, like you guys said, I mean, it is so fun to watch a 41-year-old celebrate her 30th birthday and then shirk sobriety so quickly. And then do this weird thing in the jacuzzi with her brother. I mean, we'll explore other parts of the episode, but that was pretty much the heavy-hitting moment. Also very concerned about Culver. I'm very concerned that his cachet is going to run dry at the end of the season when he breaks Bertini's heart, because while we love Culver, we also love Bertini. And if Bertini is harmed emotionally by this man, there'll be hell to pay. 25 pots.
I'll see if I can get her on the show next week.
So last we left off, we were standing by as the noodles fell victim to the cold wind. The beef was also victim to that too. We've gone from warm Yoshinoya beef bowl to cold Yoshinoya beef bowl. $60,000 a day. The drunk 40-year-old sits back down after a long piss and a little throw up.
I think she took a shit. What a power move.
You think so?
Everybody will wait.
Yeah.
Everybody will wait. The food will get cold. And how about a little culpability on her? I mean, why is this chef feeling all bad about himself?
Yeah. Well, because he made beef teriyaki. Even if it was piping hot, he should feel embarrassed because he made what is one of the looked over entrees at Panda Express.
Always left there at 10:57, having to have that tray thrown out. Orange chicken, beef teriyaki sits there just alone.
Yeah. I don't even know if there is a beef teriyaki.
There's not. There's beef with broccoli. It
There's
might be.
beef with
Is it teriyaki beef?
It's teriyaki chicken. I used to get it all the time when I was younger, thinking it was healthy. But anyways, we move on to
It's all sugar.
the
guests are
40-year-old
underwhelmed.
sitting back down, and Aisha asks if they would like another. Yeah. It's like you said, they're very underwhelmed by the meal, and when they're voicing their displeasure with the fact that it's cold Yoshinoya beef bowl, it's like drive through in seedy parts of Hollywood. It's almost the only place you can get Yoshinoya beef bowl, and they say, "What's with this?" And Aisha says, "I'm so sorry. Would you be up for another stretched out 40-minute cook time so we can get you the warm version of this?" And they said, "Are you crazy?"
We'd rather go to Yoshinoya beef bowl.
Yeah.
I was first introduced to Yoshinoya beef bowl by Workaholics. They didn't have it in the Midwest, and I was like, it seemed exotic. And then I ate there one time when I was homeless, living in my car, and they scrounged up $7, and I shan't eat there again.
Hey,
You shan't?
Shan't. Don't you think Kermit should have said when she saw the guests in their temperament and just said, "Hey, I'll get you wherever you want, but we got to ensure that your buddy over here is not going to drop any more kids off at the pool." You know what I mean? It's kind of their fault.
No. So let's go ahead and play that out, right?
Okay.
All right.
Who am I?
You're Aisha.
I'm Kermit.
Yep.
Oh, can I get you anything else?
Yeah, we like hot beef.
Oh, right away. Does anybody have to take a shit?
No, why would you ask?
You know.
I'm Aisha. I don't care about regular pleasantries. I'll ask the tough questions.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All right.
World class, guys. Improv.
One guy slurps out a request for another shot, and poor Captain Jason is just stewing in this awkward silence. But the hits keep coming. The chef has no clue what he's going to do with the cake. Now, we've arrived at the time when they want to eat the cake. Yeah. And they're like, hey, Chefy, what's going on with dessert? And he says, I've got no clue. Not a strong showing from Captain Nate or Chef Nate, excuse me.
I hope Birthday Girl's a big fan of strawberries. Probably should have checked on that.
I was honestly having flashbacks to some of the bad habits I learned in school. I'd have homework, something had to be done at 8 a.m. And, of course, I'd be like, I'll get up early and do it the next morning. And then I'd wake up the next morning. My grandma would literally, to a point, spray water in my face to get me up because I was just dead to the world. And then I'd get to school at 8:10 and I wouldn't have my homework. Right. And I'd be like, what do I do? But I always figured out a way.
Yeah. Copy off the kid next to you.
Yeah, that was a lot of it. But no, Plopper and I didn't go to high school together. One teacher was so dumb. She would just check to see if our worksheets were done, and she'd walk down one aisle, and then
turn.
And then I would just grab the paper off the person next to me.
Perfect.
Yeah. Brett Corrigan.
That's
she
why
was a girl.
Educators can't phone it in like that. You know, you're trying to mold young children. We should talk about
Below Deck.
a pretty incredible thing happening right now. Nick is actually in Crocs.
I didn't notice that.
The footwear made famous by that rapist Mario Batali.
Oh, he's been cleared, Dylan.
Well, he hasn't been cleared.
Not of all charges, but of the ones.
It's not about being cleared. It's about a security footage of him reaching his fucking fat, grubby red hands up a girl's fucking skirt.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
But he had Crocs on?
Oh, I don't know if he did have Crocs.
Oh, yeah, he most definitely did.
Because Brett Favre had Crocs on in his one of the early dick pics made
That's
famous.
right.
Crocs
He sent
on.
that to the reporter. Huh?
He's on drugs.
Jen Sturger, who follows me on Instagram.
That's
He's look
sick.
familiar.
So gay. All right. So the chef throws some shit in the microwave, and we get a call from Culver's team mom and dad. Captain Jason continues to be like, what the fuck is going on? And there is no one to... And he's saying what the fuck is going on is because there's no one to clear. And Hot Captain no longer wants to sit at this table, which is kind of like a methadone drip, this group of people at this meal and this night. I can't even imagine being there for longer than 15 minutes. So Captain Jason's dinner is euthanized, and they get to the DJ.
It's great talking with DJ Lazy Susan last week.
Susan.
I hope the audience enjoyed that interview. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, he was a fun guy.
I thought it was very nice.
Any thoughts?
Just Cats After Dark is over. Chappelle quit last night, and Cat just quit. So,
yeah. Can we take over? Why don't we start recording Cats After Dark here?
There's stuff to be discussed.
Okay.
But I missed the last thing you said.
That's a big, long fucking text.
All right, let's talk about this after.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the birthday girl says, I don't know what I was thinking. I can't not drink on this vacation.
No, of course not. It's your birthday, girl. You're 42.
Yeah, you love
30.
strawberries. Your birthday. So Lazy Susan heads up, and so does Aisha, to get chewed out rather softly by Cap. She's good at her job, and that's why, she doesn't really take that big of a licking. Also, these people are so fucked up on smoky tequila that it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? In fact, they're so fucked up that they're not going to realize that this cake looks like a fucking convict made it. I mean, it was truly unbelievable. Truly unbelievable.
It was a weird cake. A weird looking cake.
Suze is up there fucking crushing it, and they're getting loaded and loaded, and they're getting loaded on loaded Coronas. It's a Corona with a shot in it. So Jordy propositions Britt for a little threesome, and then she makes a pretty big mistake given the events that unfold later. She tells Britt she sees that there's chemistry between her and Culver, and inadvertently that means absolutely nothing to her. Mm-hmm. She doesn't care. Mm-hmm. She's going to get what she wants. At age 42, you realize that you got to grab life by the horns and ride it.
And don't get in the comment section and say Dylan's an ageist, okay? Jesus Christ, she looks every bit of 42.
No, I'm kidding. She looks like she could be 30, and it's just lazy. I'm very fatigued. I'm really just taking your lead.
Yeah.
She's 30, drinks too much, and most likely smokes cigarettes. It's not good for the skin.
So, this is what happens with drunks. They feel nothing, though. They're hedonists with a heart that shrinks smaller and smaller and smaller, like a sweetbread, the older they get. Let's move on.
Boy, I can relate to that.
So, Britt asks, speak on that.
Oh, well, I just, 8:30 comes around, and then that's when the wine bottles come out, and I'm just trying to numb myself,
Yeah. Do you dream, Patrick?
Oh, yes, I do. I had a nightmare last night.
What was it?
Well, I was my friend Zach, who I had a business with. Somehow he got us into some kind of trouble. We had to go in hiding.
Sure.
And boy, I'm going on this number 2 stuff. But anyway, we wake up after 2 weeks. I show up. There's shit all over the walls in the toilet, and I'm like, we got to turn ourselves in. And in the dream, it didn't make any sense because I had no idea what we did, but it was definitely really bad because we were hiding. But definitely feces were a focal part of it.
Interesting.
A fecal part of it.
Yeah, big time.
Maybe he is your...
I hate hearing other person's dreams because it never makes any sense. It's
I
actually really like it.
Knowing some of the business ventures you went in with Zach, I'm actually really figuring out what this means. He's got a bunch of tech companies he gets Pat involved in, uses Pat's salesman abilities, and then he's got a back end that's basically shit on a wall.
Oh, that's a good interpretation.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Any of you dream interpreters, because there's thousands of books on this stuff. Tell me what that dream is trying to tell me.
Could be resentment towards Zach, or it could be...
Not resentment, more just misplaced trust.
Could be you having a broken complex with your shadow. Maybe Zach is an interpretation of your other self, and you're not in sync with it. You're
talking about some Fight Club here, where it's 2 guys in the movie, but really it was just one.
It's one person, and he with the other person is not only fleeing from the law, but allowing his environment to be encased in shit.
Maybe.
You know what time it is? It's time to talk about an elixir that you know too well by now. Pat, what is it?
Magic Mind.
It's Magic Mind. It's an anti-procrastination juice that will make you hum like a Zen master throughout your entire day.
Can I say something that might come off as insulting to our listenership?
Absolutely.
At this point, we've been pitching this Magic Mind for, I think, a year.
Right.
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
If you don't buy this right now, just buy it once. It will fix your life. It's fixed multiple people in my life.
Pat throws people's cars at them.
I threw my own car. I nearly killed that guy.
Right. So do you want superpowers or not, you fucking idiots? I mean, my God. Was the Buddha on Adderall? No, he was on Magic Mind. Go to magicmind.co, enter in promo code SANDY to get 20% off and free shipping. Go, do it.
And we do have to say it in the simplest terms possible because it's this vicious cycle. They're fucking idiots. So, but if they have the Magic Mind, then they won't be fucking idiots.
Right.
Buy Magic Mind, magicmind.co. Use promo code Sandy or Jason for 20% off. You were going to say something?
Well, I was going to say, hey, post a picture of you with that receipt and say, I'm not an idiot, Pat.
That'd be awesome.
Guys, it's time to get sexy. You know what time it is. It's time to get sexy with Dame. Mm-hmm. Now, Dame is an unbelievable company, and it is a company that our fans have been loving because they just make incredible products. What kind of products do they make? Awesome sex toys that go in your holes, your hoods. All of it is what Dame does, and it buzzes, and it sucks, and it has lube, and it has everything sexy.
Hey, Dylan, they sent me a product because, I don't know if the audience knows this, but when you're big time like us, you get these sponsors. They send you beds, they send you cars, they send you dildos. I got this thing today.
We've gotten beds and dildos.
This thing's got 3 things. Obviously, I think you have to be a female to get you off. I'll tell you what. You buy a Dame product, okay? And I don't care if it's a $30. Hold on, no, it's gonna be appropriate. You buy $20 like the grasshopper, whatever things they got over there. If you send a picture and you post it on Facebook, I'll send you this thing that they sent me.
Oh, okay.
And I'll fucking mail it to your house. This thing, if it doesn't get your rocks off, it might kill you.
Everything gets your rocks off. It's unbelievable how sexy Dame is. So go to Dame, BelowDeckProducts.com. Use promo code BelowDeck to get 15% off your order. Okay, do you want the Air? Do you want the Eva? Do you want the Lube? Do you want the Sexy? Go to DameProducts.com. Use promo code BelowDeck. Hey, Pat.
Yes.
You been out to Wabu Gabu?
No, I'm a big to-do. And you know what? Green Chef sent me my free sample box this week. It had 3 different meals in there. I had a turkey thing that I made. I had an all-beef thing and a vegetarian thing.
Oh, wow.
Me and the wife made it. Oh, my father-in-law came over, Ruby. He actually made the turkey thing.
I'm really happy for you. It's just a long copy, so we should get to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it is nice that you and your family are healing.
Well, that's what it's all about. We're supposed to not be ordering food from California Fish Grill.
Right.
We're supposed to be making meals and sharing it around the table, sharing stories.
I think personal endorsement done.
Did your wife deceitfully try to put it in the kitchen, but now there's no kitchen, which I think it has helped everything? We haven't heard the story. Listen to another podcast show.
Yeah.
But then you can heal also by going to greenchef.com/belowdeck135 and use code belowdeck135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes. And your first box ships free.
Do you want to repeat the URL for everybody, Nick?
Of course I do. I have to. greenchef.com/belowdeck135.
Yeah, it's a really, really unbelievable company. And you know that it's the #1 meal kit for eating well with dinners that work for you, not the other way around. And also, it has seasonal produce, premium proteins, organic ingredients that you can trust. Also, it saves you time by cutting down on weekly meal planning, prepping, and grocery shopping. You're not
and
gonna
drives to California Fish Grill on a Sunday.
You're not going to waste any food. You're not going to waste any time. You're not going to waste any money. Go to greenchef.com/belowdeck135 and use promo code belowdeck135 to get $130 off across 5 boxes. And your first box ships free.
Hey, can we talk about Taylor? She's very attractive. And can you
Who
believe
is Taylor?
She's
Taylor's
the new stew.
Oh, that's the new stew. Yeah.
Yeah, boy, you got some of that COVID fog or something like that. Memory loss. Maybe you did have it. God,
You should have excreted the disease from your body like Wolverine, like me. I have no ill will effects. I know who Taylor is, and I also find her extremely attractive. It sounds like she was a bit of a whore in her past on boats.
Well, let's not judge here.
Yoinkies.
Her words.
Taylor chats with Britt, and they discuss Jamie because that's
Hang
who
on
she
a
likes.
second.
I use the term her words loosely, I will say.
Go ahead. That's all I needed.
All right, well, let me break this down. So Taylor does, she says that she can't stop making out with fellow sea rats on her last couple charters, but she's kind of dating somebody, but in this world, that means nothing.
They're sea rats.
Yeah.
Me and my
Goes without saying.
She said how much she was like non-committal to her current boyfriend, and this is where I have to don the TFC and break down the fourth wall. I think she was brought back at the end of the season when she already knows that her relationship didn't last, because it would take an absolute idiot to speak about your current significant other like this on television, knowing they're going to see it later.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really, really good point. But Britt asks her who she's interested in. There's this very, very long, dramatic pause for no reason, and she's just Jamie, which was, the thing about that long pause is who cares? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Britt was really just doing recon with this question, but thank God the new one has a long tenure of experience to pull from when she was younger. Because she's 23 right now, but when she was younger,
she's grown a lot.
Yeah, she's grown a lot. She's essentially a yogi, this one. But moving on to Nate, who is broken. He says it's the worst day he's ever had on a boat and feels...
Well, he said he might kill himself.
Yeah.
Come on, Nate. You fucked up a meal, bro.
He said he was set up to fail. And I would tell Nate, welcome to Bravo's Below Deck. That's the entire show is about. He wakes at 4:30 a.m. A new day hath arrived. And he's going to run around as this royalty-free techno music plays. Now, this man is Jocko Willink. He has woken to make sure that never happens again. I'm excited to get to the meals that come because turns out M. Night Shyamalan, he's just not very good. And it's so funny because we've got all these cool pictures of him staging and shit like that with nice plates and stuff. But yeah, no, he served teriyaki beef. All right, so we lift anchor. Benny has overcome his fear of being in the anchor room, evidently. And then we get to Jordy. Toomey gets her some tea rather than the... much needed hair of the dog because Jordy, quote, doesn't drink. And that is when we get to Culver feeling really homesick. And people are realizing that his ball of energiness is a little off. They miss the old Culver.
Dimming a little bit.
I'm starting to believe he may have stimulants and like me, has fallen prey to CVS and Walgreens no longer taking telemedicine prescriptions for stimulants such as Adderall. And I will say, in about 2 weeks' time, unless this gets figured out, my productivity will plummet, so I warn you.
It's so funny, like, the pharmaceutical industry, it's a lot like maritime law. It's ruthless and fueled by bloodthirsty profit,
Agreed.
But then you have these weird little pockets of pencil pushing lame shit, It's like, why are you not raking in all the money on Adderall possible? You already got a bunch of people addicted to opioids. Let's do it again. It'll be a windfall for you guys, and we can work 14 hours a day.
I have a philosophy or a theory on that. Why it seems it like you said, it doesn't jive with their profit first motive. But I'm going to talk about it on free APS.
Yeah.
Telemedicine and stimulants.
Go subscribe. So Culver is supposed to be working, but he's not working. He's hammering egg whites, and Benny takes issue with this. And Jamie is not doing much better. He's just staring at Jordy as she's upside down, trying to lure her onto his cock with his dashing good standing there. I don't know what he's doing, but he's definitely wasting time.
Is he trying to get laid?
Yeah. So Betty sees this too and realizes maybe I should just go to work and not complain about it. And I have written down, brilliant. Good idea. Don't go starting shit with other people because you're disgruntled. All right, so Nate is bulk poaching eggs and whipping up a pretty wicked hollandaise while Jason does a little recap.
Huge week for Benedict on Below Deck.
Huge week for Benedict. So Jamie says Culver's been slipping, but no worries. I love chewing out my employees and threatening their fucking jobs. The issue with taking so many days is, and I know dead horse, but I have no idea what I was just talking about. What happened there?
I'm not sure either.
Dill?
But I will say, here's one part I'm not sure if we talked about, but I wanted to mention.
Yeah, me neither.
So Culver's losing steam because of the whole telemedicine thing. Kind of took us on a tangent there.
Yeah.
But no, Culver's losing steam. So some people have their eyebrows raised. They're like, "Oh, this guy usually has a bunch of steam." Jamie goes and tells
Captain
Hot Captain that Culver, he's a little bit worried about him, and Captain Jason's like, "Oh, keep an eye on him." So then Jamie runs to Culver and he's like, "Hey, you got a target on your back."
Yeah.
He leaves out the info. The reason he has a target on his back is because Jamie gave Hot Captain paint to draw the target.
Yeah. Well, I had the target thing later in my notes. What a wild way to communicate with an employee. But we'll get there. So, Aisha has got some fun moments with the crew and compliments Nate on his gigantor dick while
Big dick energy.
smacking Toomey in the ass. Breakfast goes off without a hitch. And Culver takes a pretty sizable shit.
I don't think he was doing that. I think it's a little trick that I implemented back in my North American insurance days.
Go play Angry Birds for a half hour?
Well, I'd sleep.
Right.
Some would say it's probably difficult to sleep sitting down. But if you got your backpack sitting on your lap, it's a good rest piece for your head.
Right.
Yeah. So when I'd be hungover and I used up all my sick days at North American Insurance and I was forced to come in, I would just go to the restroom, close that stall.
Yeah.
And then I'd fall asleep in there for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And of course, you'd be awoken if someone, was next.
Couple hours, huh?
Yeah. You'd be in these big corporation things, unless you got someone out there. I had Bob the Gay Dwarf when he turned on me. If he knew I was in there, he'd rat me out.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no one's looking.
It's funny. It's kind of like when I worked for Language Access Network.
Yeah.
When I was 24 years old.
LAN. Fucking nothing like the LAN parties back in the day.
I would show up Counter-Strike. You kidding me? But I'd literally just go to work. I would get there at 9, 2 minutes after the boss got there. He beat me there every day. I always walked in and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I took an hour for breakfast at about 10.
Yeah, coffee hour. You got to catch up. That's what we used to do.
Took an hour for lunch at about
You
11:30.
got to stretch that to an hour and 15. I'd always leave 5 minutes early and then come back 10 minutes late.
I'd play World of Warcraft. I literally would not do any work, and it was an empty office because the team hadn't come from Ohio yet. Mm-hmm. But he had tapped me as some kind of kid who was really gonna help them grow this someday. LA audience, you know, or this LA office.
I've never worked in a corporate environment where you had the ability to hide like this. I worked at Sports Authority, which is retail, which there are a limited amount of people that the customers can bother to ask if this is true to size.
Yeah.
God, that question doesn't make any fucking sense. I did, however, work at the library, an incredibly easy place to hide. And there's no easier time theft strategy than an extra 5 on the front and back of the 15. All of a sudden, you got a 25-minute break there. I mean,
you know the easiest place to hide in the library? In the stories.
Nice.
I did often lose myself in books.
Hey, a final note on this before we go back to BD. I feel bad for this next generation of people or future employees with all this Zoom and internet stuff.
Yeah.
They'll never feel the glory of getting away with an 8-hour day and absolutely not doing anything in that 8 hours for someone.
My buddy the other day was like, I used to work for, he did financial planning for an agency. And he was like, there were days where I got to the bottom of Reddit. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you can go to a bottom. Sometimes there's no more. I was like, what?
It's a lot of time.
All day, just scrolling down. Mm-hmm. This next company is a company that I'm very, very excited to talk about because when I wear them, because they sent us a bunch of stuff, thank you very much, I literally turn heads. That's what happens when you identify yourself via fashion. What company am I talking about? I'm talking about the very head-turning Rothy's.
You know what? It's become kind of chuggy to love fall.
Yeah.
And that's because the things people are obsessed with fall are awesome. Cozy sweaters.
Gilmore Girls.
All of that. And my new fall obsession, actually.
Cider.
No, my new Rothy's that I just got. It's because of all the head turning. It's the perfect thing to walk around in the park with your loved one with a cozy sweater. Pat is laughing, but I am told to talk about fall
Hey,
obsessions.
Pat, hey, dummy, has anybody ever come up to you and gone, are those Rothy's?
No, but last week when I was in
Because you haven't been wearing them.
Happened
That's
to me.
why. Happened to me. It happens to me every time.
What were you saying, though, Pat? Fall obsession?
Last week I was in a 7-Eleven. Couple zombies saw me wearing my Rothy's. Yeah. They tried dragging me out onto the street.
All right, let's hit that promo code.
These are shoes.
Yeah.
And they're really sleek and
they're recyclable and you can wash them and
they
stuff.
thought it was plastic.
Yeah.
many colorways.
So many colorways.
So please go to rothys.com/belowdeck to get $20 off your first purchase. That's rothys.com/belowdeck for $20 off your first purchase and find your new favorite shoes and get ready to be asked.
Are those Rothy's? Our next partner has a product that I use literally every day. I started taking AG1 to step forward in the morning when the sun is just cresting over the mountain, striding true. That's why I started taking AG1, okay? So what is this stuff? Well, I'll tell you, AG1 is one delicious scoop wherein you will absorb 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to start your day right. You just put a scoop of it in water, put a little OJ in there, a little pineapple juice, ice, whatever you want in there. It'll taste delicious regardless because you're doing it for yourself,
Are you
okay?
talking about athletic greens, by the way, Dylan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You call them AG1. I know it as athletic greens. You know, when I wake up in the morning and I just look at those wonderful packets, I never refer to it as AG1.
It's lifestyle friendly whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. Also, AG1, also known as athletic greens, is a small micro habit with big benefits. It's one thing you can do to take care of yourself every single day. It costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. And also, Don't trust us. Trust the reviews, okay? That's democratic
It's
consensus. It's 7,000 five-star reviews, okay? To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your purchase, your first purchase, that is. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/belowdeck. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/belowdeck to take ownership over your health and pick up the daily nutritional insurance, the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
And one last note on that. Hey, if you ain't feeling good about yourself and your body, I'm like, hey, I don't feel so good about myself, my health, I'm not feeling. Try it. Just try it. Just buy it once, try it. Trust us. We know what we're talking about.
I also have one more note. You know how you said it's daily nutritional insurance? I've always heard that you should insure anything you can't afford to lose. And no, you can't afford to lose your health.
No, you can't.
That's
Get
the only thing you
Athletic
have,
Greens,
really.
everybody. Get it. Now a word from our sponsor, Betterhelp. It's important to not get stuck focusing on problems because then you just dig this like hole. You just like dwell in the fact that you're in a hole and you don't get out of it. You know, it can be tough to train your brain to stay in problem solving mode rather than problem preoccupation mode. Okay. But that is why BetterHelp is here. So if you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/ABP today to get 10% off your first month. Again, that is BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/ABP. Become a better problem solver. Pat.
Personal testimony. Okay. I've been fighting with my neighbor, or my wife and I. She's a horrible neighbor. She has 5 tiny houses in her backyard. And then when we started doing a remodel in our yard, she was over here with a camera. She was calling, hey, I think the jackhammer's turned my gas line off. You owe me $150. Just, it made the whole relationship. It was horrible. The other day, the wife and I would get out of our car, and my neighbor simultaneous, Marty, walks out. And the wife walks away. And Marty says, I don't think your wife likes me. And I says, Marty, my wife does like you. And we love you. And we want to be good neighbors. We want to be friends and have a good relationship as neighbors. And she said, Pat, I appreciate that. Let's be good neighbors. And BetterHelp helped me do that.
Lie to her like that, yeah.
I was like, are we still advertising something?
Go to betterhelp.com/ABP. So, Benny. Nope. So, Jamie, as Nick was alluding to, goes and has a little chat with Culver. He handles it very professionally. And he says to his best employee, you've got a fucking target on your back, and you'll get fired tomorrow if you don't step it up. Now, Culver is a mommy missing mess right now. But, Jamie, in what world do you think this is the way to talk to people, especially your best employee?
He learned it by watching Below Deck, because it's a play right out of the fucking old fake Captain Lee's handbook.
How you think
I
so?
got a pocket of plane tickets.
Right.
It's like scare the employee into being productive. Rarely works.
And I love just the cut to Culver and his, like, he gave us real thoughts on this. He's like, that's not going to motivate me. That pisses me off. I'm going to be even more lazy. I miss my mom.
Do you know how incredible my mom is?
I live on a compound. I have horses, for Christ's sake. Why am I here?
So we get a montage of snorkeling work and snorkeling, and then we get back to menu planning. Now, here's where I was like, Nate might be absolutely useless. And I thought that at the beef teriyaki, but now we've got an issue because he woke up at 4:30, and he's in a scramble. He has no idea what he's going to do for dinner, and I was just thinking,
There's
God,
no time
man.
for golf.
What?
Sorry, he's in a scramble.
Scramble.
I literally just talked as you were talking.
That's okay. We do it all the time. So the guests head back to the boat, and they give Jordy a non-alcoholic banana daiquiri. Pat, how's that go?
Not well, bitch.
All right, let's get to the nighttime.
Nighttime.
There's more super productive talk of communication, and that note was too vague for me to recall what happened. But luckily, I have this thing, which says there's this weird thing where they're like, oh, that's what it's about. Excuse me. Nate and Aisha are like, we got to communicate better.
Yeah.
And the issue is that I feel, and see if you guys agree or disagree, that there's a little bit more specificity in order after that conversation, given what happened to the beef and the convict cake the night before. They're just like, we need to communicate better. And they're like, all right, great. See you at dinner. Do you guys want to work on any hand signals, any calls? Do you want to talk specifically about anything, or just go, think we need better communication? See you at 7. Makes no sense. They're fucking C-rats.
And I completely agree. There was just talk of more communication, not better communication. Captain Jason was one of the ones that led the charge. He wanted more communication, but again, no instructions how to get the better communication.
Right.
But he did it all while being in the galley, and he's been in the galley a lot.
Yeah, Captain Sandy, look out.
I don't want to be a sexist, so I'm going to lay it out there. He's becoming Captain Timeshare 2.0.
See, I was going to drag this out, but get to the same place. I'm worried he might have had a brochure come to his house for a seminar, a free weekend getaway.
Yeah.
In the galley.
All you get paid. All you need to do is have 1 hour where you get spoken to by none other than DJ Captain Sandy. Opportunity of a lifetime. You for
Of a lifetime.
for the low price of
$759.
Can be
3 installments.
can be in the galley for 12 weeks a year. yeah, to Captain Timeshare too.
Oh, yeah. It's not a good look.
It sounds like a sequel.
Captain Chimeshare 2. All right, so let's get to the nighttime. We're already there.
We're there.
So Nate has a bit of a goofball moment when he's down at the Garland. He's doing this whoop whoop kind of thing. Have fun.
I know what you're talking about. They coaxed him into being a little weird in his OTF, and
Yeah, when he's over down at the Garland.
and they just made fun of him. But they said, I mean, when he gets nervous, he gets a little goofy.
Yeah, so meanwhile,
So do I.
thank you. Culver texts his mom. Taylor almost heads out without the goat cheese, and the food hits the table. First up, local lobster. Next up, filet mignon, a.k.a. deconstructed or coursed out surf and turf. So, Nate is sadly a resounding and loud microcosm of... I don't know that I want to say this.
Why not?
Well, because Australia does have a good food scene in certain parts, but...
Oh, you're going to attack the entire continent of Australia?
Yeah.
I'll go for it.
I feel like a lot of people are like cook like this and it passes. You know, because, those fucking hot dog skin toothless drunks down in fucking whatever.
Airlie Beach?
Airlie Beach, wearing flip-flops. You chuck a lobster tail and a fucking overcooked piece of filet mignon down on the table, they probably think it's fucking groovy. Slam back a, whatever they call it, beer.
Foster's.
Yeah, they slam back a Foster's, and they're fucking good to go. But the thing about this whole thing is I don't know if I believe any of this, and I'm lost right now, and I need somebody else to go.
This is what I'll say about Nate's second night meal that he's providing.
Yeah.
It's pretty basic. He's a basic bitch. I feel like anything that you're serving that for like a 5-star experience that you could coach a 6-year-old up early in the afternoon to pull off.
Yeah.
It is not a good look.
Or that they serve at Yoshinoya
Beef bowl, yeah. So this is the curriculum vitae or whatever the fuck you call it for now. Yoshinoya beef bowl cold. Mm-hmm. Convict cake, strawberry shortcake looks like it made in a jail cell. Surf and turf. Yes. I mean, it's just not great. It's really just not great.
Maybe the next night he'll serve burgers and French fries.
So Jordy says she's taking a break from society. Bears shit in woods. They're also inefficient at killing, so if they get a hold of you, it's going to be a really slow, painful death. But anyways, they check the legs of the red wine, and then they suck it down. Now, 10:40, the guests go down, but not Jordy or her brother Teft.
That was Jordy?
Oh, yeah.
Journey, yeah.
Jordy.
I thought Jordy, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Jordy and her brother Teft, they hop in the coos. I'm very excited to break this down. what the fuck is there even to say about this? Not only is this weird, but it gets even weirder when they call Papa.
I'll tell you what there is to say about it. It's eerily reminiscent of season
Brazzers
5,
video?
episode 10
Oh, sorry.
of Friends, the one with the inappropriate sister, where Rachel is, of course, dating her hallmate Danny. He was initially looked like a mountain man who returned from Alaska with a giant beard, and they thought he was like some creep, but then he shaved his beard, and they found out he was attractive. So then they ended up going to a gala together after a little dance, and they were very happy dating together until Rachel met his sister, and they were super weird together, and they get all handsy, and they'd punch each other, and then they finally took a bath together, and that was the last straw for Rachel. And I always thought that episode was a little ironic because Ross and Monica's relationship was always a little weird to me. They talked about who each other were
Yeah,
fucking.
they get in a bathtub
pretty
with
much
each other.
constant. We didn't see that part. I think they might have shielded us from us. But yeah, what is there to say about it? That's what there is to say about it.
Yeah, well, I thought that it was like the beginning of every new Brazzers video or videos that
Porn.
you see on Pornhub. Yeah.
Why does it all have to be incest? Why is that?
What is with the incest? I don't understand.
There is
that.
a lot of like, hey, bang your stepdad, or yeah, that's weird.
And stepdad's okay, but it's this stuff where it's like, little Diego fucks his mom or something. Like, I don't want to watch that.
Pequeño
I think I saw that one. Little Diego, he banged the entire house. He was a foreign exchange student, wasn't
Little Rodrigo Diego fucks his mom. And you're like, what? And she's like, little Rodrigo Diego, you did badly on your homework again. And he's like, oh no, am I going to have to fuck you again, mom?
What the hell kind of Dora the Explorer are you guys watching?
It's so weird. But anyways, Papa was very, very creepy. He reminded me of Gary Oldman's character in Hannibal, that shit movie that you made me watch.
I love that movie.
But yeah, it reminds me, like, I see him like with half his face ripped off in one of those scooters, and he's like, oh, hello, kids. It's just very, very off-putting, the whole thing. All right. So, Toomey is on to another job. She is no nonsense. She and Aisha are the only no bullshit workers on this boat. Chase that fucking bag, girl. Get that bag. It's the only thing that matters in life. That and love, but you can't really love a lot when you're poor. So let's get to the next day.
Next day!
Bacon hits the grill and Captain Jason gets a text. It would seem that another boat has another Benny aboard. There's a tender adrift and they're going to fucking save it. Leave it to Jamie to freak the fuck out about safety. Would you calm down and remove the fucking pink thong from your ass that you wear every day that no one knows about? God, man.
Well said.
I don't think Benny got that joke when you interviewed him. You did the whole thing about Jamie being a stripper cop. He was just staring at us.
Yeah.
I fucking cracked him up with my S&P joke, though. That he lost it.
Yeah, well, he's in trades.
He's in trades.
So they get the funky skiv and the guests depart until we meet again. But Pat, how did they tip?
You know, I'm gonna make an admission here. I did not watch the rest of the episode by accident.
What do you mean by accident? Because we've had 4 days to watch it.
That's right.
Right.
And when we came out here and we were going to record, and you acknowledged that we were gone so late, I had said I had 8 minutes left that I was going to watch.
Right.
And I forgot.
And so that was last Thursday.
Yeah, but I
so
forgot. Then I forgot it.
Oh, okay. So like, I'm trying to think of an analog here. Like, oh, sorry, Grandma. It was an accident. I forgot your medication at the house. And she's like, well, how is that an accident?
Right.
I mean, that's not a good one.
I think it's
Fatigue
parallel.
Right now.
It doesn't matter your reasoning, Pat. Grandma is dead.
Grandma's dead, and it's less an accident and more of a kind of slow-moving, purposeful ignoring of your responsibilities.
But I don't know the total amount for the tip, but it was $13.45 per person.
Okay, so we must move on to.
But they a couple times I think they had more because they were down people, so $13.45 now seems lower. But we must move on. They do
not tip well in Australia.
Yeah, okay.
We have to move on to the helmet, which sadly has taken quite a bit of a back seat. And I was actually really excited about the return of the shame. And Culver gets it. He dons it, and we move on to our final outing of the season. Oh, no, excuse me. It's our final one of the season. It's time for The preference sheet meeting.
Dun, 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 dun.
If I knew the episode was going to end with this, I would have just lied and maintained that I'd watched the entire episode.
I was like, what a misstep, because I got it from here, Pat.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Pat, Dylan, I will say, and I know you do
Honesty is the best jurisprudence.
you do a great job with the edit to get them out timely, but people are in fact missing the preference sheet music.
It's not true. I've put it in every fucking time.
Okay, well then, I mean, interwebs, chill out. He's put it in every fucking time.
Just listen with your ears. Turn them on.
Charity King, primary location, Sydney, NSW. Celebrating her recent marriage, the launch of her new company, her birthday, and Gay Pride Month. Chef and wellness coach Charity King is ready to throw the most fabulous floating party extravaganza ever to hit the Australian waters. Joining Charity on the charter will be her wife, Peta, who co-runs their new nutrition business, Liz, a top-tier recruitment consultant, and friends Kristen, Jess, and Amanda, all executives working in tech communications. Also joining are their over-the-top friends Dan, a hairstylist and beauty entrepreneur, and his partner Josh, a highly sought-after celebrity colorist. Both are well accustomed to mingling with Sydney's rich and famous...
Friends?
Oh, Sydney's rich and famous. The city. I thought there was someone named Sydney.
Oh.
With Sydney's rich and famous.
Given the context clues that you had there, Pat, that was a really good guess.
Well, people accuse me of not listening to Nick. I'm listening.
Thank you. I'm not listening to myself. Having tied their knot during peak pandemic last year, Peta and Charity are ready for the festivities to truly commence.
Oh, they're lesbians.
And you just figuring that out, and request
That's
the yacht
cool.
crew's assistance in planning a romantic renewal of their wedding vows. And no wedding is complete unless followed by an outrageous rainbow Mardi Gras themed after party, which is crazy because that means every wedding I've ever been to in my life did not complete.
I hope we get to see some beaver, huh?
In addition to the festivities, the gang also expects scuba diving, the slide, jet skiing, and a Spanish beach picnic, and request as much involvement from the yacht crew as possible in order to ensure they arrive to the dock with memories to last a lifetime. Dietary restrictions, vegan and gluten-free. Night 1, they want world flavors and seafood. Vague. Nate sounds like he's going to quit, and that concludes the preference sheet meeting.
I don't know. I don't think beaver is that bad of a word for vagina.
Me neither.
When you
It's
actually
quaint.
break it down, it is kind of quaint and kind of cute.
Mm-hmm. It's cute.
Pussy is a lot more vulgar to me. But beaver has the connotation of, like, I don't know. It just seems like a classless way to refer to such a beautiful organ.
There's a couple things.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much keeps coming up. I used to camp with my family at Beaver Creek State Park in Caledonia, Minnesota. And my grandma, that was one of her favorite things to do, is bring the grandkids out to Beaver. And
I thought you were going to say find funny words for pussy.
oh, no. But my grandma would always be like, I love Beaver. And my uncle, who years later would go on to blow up a meth lab in eastern Wisconsin.
Because he was making meth.
And
nice.
he would always laugh when she would said, I love Beaver. And she'd be like, what? My sister would be like, oh, Mark's gross. And I'd be like, what? And also, how funny is the Nickelodeon TV show, The Angry Beavers?
Angry beavers. All right, that's it for us, guys. When they go out, Culver hooks up with Jordy and Britt's heartbroken. But we're going to figure out what happens later on with Peacock Below Deck Down Under. Guys, we'll be back on track this week, actually. You'll get it Friday or Saturday. And hopefully we end with a bang, actually, and not a whimper. Jump in the comments. Love you. Bye. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Bye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Later, guys.